after the game some about Braden and what you saw, but now that he's had a little bit of time in this practice to be the guy, what stood out to you about where things stand and what you expect of him at this point?
I think every day, even before he's had to step in, he's just became more confident each and every day, and I think he's going to give us his best. That's all we need. So,
what do you think he does well? Things you notice in practice that can allow him to be successful in this season?
I think he has a very strong arm. I think he's a very smart player. I know the amount of study time that he puts in. So I think going into the week he'll know the ins and outs of the defense and how we can attack them.
When you say that you see that confidence, do you have an example, or is it maybe just how he carries himself?
Yeah, just how he carries himself. How he's able to communicate with myself and the line, and just execute.
Jake was standing here, was asking about him in one game. He said for the guys who were part of that last year, it feels a little personal this year. You mentioned earlier that's a game that stuck out to you. Like season. Does it feel personal in some way, or is this one that you would like to kind of get back for everything that they did last year?
Yeah, I think it's definitely one that I had circled. Just an embarrassment. In every way possible. Definitely, obviously, my worst game that I've been a part of individually, and probably one of the worst that I've been a part of as part of this team. So, definitely one I'm excited about. Going to their house and play well.
Is it also a factor, if you look at that loss last year, that kind of changed the direction of this program? It was one coach and led to a lot of offseason changes.
Yeah, obviously, that was the last game Coach Chris was a part of, so that's definitely on our minds too. I think all those factors kind of tie in with the motivation going in.
What do you remember from your first meeting with Illinois, though? That was kind of your breakout game. What do you remember about that, and whether that gave you confidence if you needed it at all, or gave your teammates confidence in you?
Yeah, I think both. It was the first game. I was kind of still buried on the depth chart a little bit, and IG ended up, hurting himself, getting hurt in pre-game. So I was kind of thrown into the fire a little bit, and I just remember just basically going out there and F it, it's time now. So just try to play as hard as I could. And obviously, like you said, it's kind of the start of everything, and so mixed emotions about this team. I think going there, we'll bring back some good memories, and I'm excited for it.
Obviously, you're not paired with Ches anymore, but you guys both had big games that day, and I'm just curious if you can recall at all talking to Ches maybe between series about how he was running, how you were running, and how you guys could help each other.
I don't really
That's a long
remember.
time.
Yeah.
Do you feel any other pressure to establish the run game early to be able to really just run down their throats now that you have a redshirt backup quarterback?
I think establishing the run is something that we always want to do, regardless who's in the game. Obviously, I wouldn't say I feel more pressure. I put a ton of pressure on myself every game, but now it's more so just trying to run with even more anger and more aggression than I have lately. So I won't say there's any more pressure, but I'm excited for the pressure if other people have put it on me.
Do you think the TV commentators even mentioned on a couple of your runs in the second half Saturday that you were running angry? Do you think that sends a message to the defense if you run over a guy like you ran over? Do you want to do that intentionally? Run someone over and let them know that they're in for it?
Of course. That's the goal. You want to try to punish everyone that stands in the way. So that's definitely the focus going forward.
Jim Leonard is working with Illinois. I know he's not a fully assistant, but I'm just wondering. He was the DC. Have you had any communication about it?
I don't think I have. Maybe just when we found out he wasn't doing the job, or maybe the bowl game probably. Other than that, not really.
Coach Fickle was talking about yesterday, putting more on you and the offensive line, and the fact that Braden's going to be starting. What's the conversations or communication like with you and the line in a typical week? Like, do you guys talk a lot about what you're seeing collectively, or is it more like they do their thing, you got to worry about yours?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously we got to be on the same page. In Illinois, I mean, they run a couple different fronts, so blocking schemes are different depending on what they're in. So I guess just understanding that. Obviously, you have to be on the same page in protection as well. So we definitely communicate, and then no different this week.
What kind of impression did Braden make on you guys since during training camp and stuff after arriving here?
I mean, I think he was a guy who came in and just went to work. He not the loudest guy, more so seen than heard. So I guess that's a good thing, as kind of a new guy. But since he's gotten since he's had to step up, I think he's done a great job being more vocal and trying to take as much command of the offense as he can.
Do you think the offense changes in any way with a new quarterback that doesn't have the experience of Tanner? Or from what you've seen, does it feel like you're just going to continue to do what you do?
No, from what I've seen so far, there won't be any changes.
Braelon, Coach Fickle said on Monday that he thought that was the hardest, the hardest he ran. He thought kind of was a statement game. Do you take something away from that in the loss? Maybe it's kind of showing something you're coaching that way.
Not really, because at the end of the day, I didn't do enough. So, watching the film, we didn't think that we played terrible as a running back group, but like I said, not well enough to win the game. So that's really all that matters.
Where's the team spirits at heading into this week?
I think they're very high. I don't think, obviously, a loss stings, especially one like that, and what kind of shakes things up. But going forward, just understanding we can only try to win every game from here on out and control what we can. And I think that's the message.
Apologize if you've asked, but last year the Illinois game, do you feel that this one just had an added flavor of personal to it?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of factors kind of adding into that motivation going into this game.